Now you know the real mechanics and they work on stuff here all the time because look at this. Look at this beautiful toolkit right here. It's absolutely amazing. And what lets you know how good they really are, they're missing a 10 millimeter. Just like everybody else.
Just like everybody else. What's up, Brite Nation?
What's up, Brite Nation?
So today we are doing something super rad. As you know, we are in Germany, and today we are actually going to visit one of the plants here in Germany for Bilstein.
Like the original from...
Like this behind us, plant number 3 specifically, was originally built in like 1870, and this is exactly where Bilstein was essentially born. This is gonna be pretty interesting. There's a lot of history here. And if you don't believe me, just
check out
wait.
the street.
Look at the street. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say street? I meant town. Like the town itself. Everywhere you turn, there's like Bilstein signs and cars and buildings. It's pretty cool. All right, you guys, so we're actually at the Bilstein production plant 3, and I have Simon right here with me, and he's actually the plant manager, correct, of this entire facility. And I'm gonna let him do most of the talking because he has a lot of cool information, not just about the history of the plant, but also about what they do here and what type of products they make here. So first off, where exactly are we in Germany right now?
Hi, I'm Simon. We're in Ennepetal. Ennepetal is like the founding location of Bilstein. So I know from one of your previous videos that you already saw the production plant in Hamilton.
Yep.
So Hamilton came later. Bilstein was founded here in Ennepetal. And in Ennepetal we have different locations, and one of them is Plant 3, production plant for aftermarket dampers and struts.
So this plant in particular makes solely aftermarket products.
Yeah, we're the only plant worldwide who does exclusively aftermarket. At the same time, we still have the OE knowledge because Bilstein is a big company worldwide. We know how to build dampers, and we're using this knowledge to build aftermarket.
So how long has this plant been here?
So I think the building is from somewhere 1870, and at the beginning we're doing some other products.
You're making like windows or something.
Yeah, windows.
Something to do with windows.
I didn't even know the English word, but jack, I think to lift your car.
Oh yeah, they were.
And at a certain point in time, 1953, the first monotube gas shock absorber was produced here in this plant. And since then, since 1953, this plant is doing shock absorbers.
So all the way from 1870 till now.
So for those of you that don't know, Bilstein's been around for quite a long time, and they've been making specifically shocks and dampers since 1953.
Yeah. I guess if you compare all plants, Bilstein has like 7, in the future 8 plants worldwide. 2 are in Germany. There's one bigger plant in Germany who does OE business, so for all these Mercedes, BMWs, when you buy the car, you already have the damper inside. This plant is a really small one, roughly 550,000 dampers per year. But I think the specific part is we have 2,800 different part numbers. So we're not just setting up the machine and producing, we are setting up the machine quite often, and sometimes even a lot of 10.
Because it's all aftermarket.
So all aftermarket.
The difference between OE is that you have a certain number of run, you know what parts you need, and they just go on.
Yeah.
Like you said, you have 2,800 parts that constantly change.
Which is mind-blowing in terms of, especially with how small this facility is. And it's not necessarily by choice. It's still as small as it is because you're kind of landlocked on one side.
He's got a huge
some nature to the right and a supermarket to the left. So we are not really able to grow, but it doesn't matter because it's nice business, aftermarket, especially for these small lots, for the really complex parts. We need highly qualified people. I guess in this facility we have the best or the highest qualification in all plants. This is driven due to our history. In Germany we have a good education system. Everybody in my plant learned to be a metal worker in some kind of apprenticeship program.
And you have somebody that's been working here since he was 12 years old.
since he was 12 years old. It was like a student. We have people who are working here for 50 years in the plant.
So he's
and as you can imagine, a lot of knowledge. Since I've been in this location, nobody quit. People are staying with us. They're keeping the knowledge. They are giving the knowledge to the next one. And this is, I guess, one of our unique selling points. We have a really complex product. Even in the aftermarket, we are doing the performance rights. We're not doing the standard aftermarket. We have complex parts. And well, it works because our employees know what to do.
I see. So for anyone who's ever wondered why we ultimately decided to go Bilstein, especially from the off-roading community side of things, because in the off-roading world, at least in the US, like Bilstein isn't as well known as it once was. But when it comes to like performance aftermarket shocks, Bilstein is world renowned. Everything they do on the aftermarket side is built essentially on the Nürburgring, or with the Nürburgring in mind, and they know what they're doing. They've been around long enough, and performance is always at the peak of what you guys are considering when you're building stuff.
So in summary, if you want to lower your car and it's just about lowering, there might be other companies. But if you want to lower it and have a ride on the Nürburgring, then get the damper out of this plant.
Or if you want to lift it, and you want it to still drive like a Cadillac off-road in the rocks, also Bilstein.
Well, you have to understand, in Germany, lowering is the same like in US lifting.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, unfortunately, due to some regulations and rules, we can't actually film inside the plant itself. But one thing that we can film is their motorsport division. And there's some stuff in here that's definitely worth showing you guys, especially comparison between the off-roading world and, you know, the shocks and stuff that we're used to seeing and used to running versus, you know, German performance. Okay, so you guys have seen the bypass shocks from Bilstein that we run on not just the stepchild, our Jeep, but also on the Bilstein Bomber, our Ultra 4 car. They're the 9200 bypass shocks, and they are massive. Welcome to the world of motorsports. So here in Germany, whereas in the US, obviously, especially in the off-roading community, we have these massive rocks, these insane trails that we're constantly crawling and pushing the limits of all of our off-roading rigs. Here, they don't really have a lot of big rocks. They do a lot of big rock crawling on. Instead, when we talk about the motorsports division and performance, we're talking about like the Nürburgring and race cars, where you don't need 12, 14, 16 inches of travel in a coilover or bypass shock. Instead, you need something that's going to perform extremely well on the track, like the Nürburgring. So this little guy here, I say a little guy because this is for us, it's very tiny. That's what she said. This is something you'd probably see on like a smaller BMW. I think this is a rear shock for a car that I can't pronounce because they don't make it in the US, but it's supposedly very popular here. But this would be a rear shock for that car specifically.
That one thing.
Yeah, that one thing that they have here. And then of course, you have this, which this is actually taken off specifically of the blue and yellow Bilstein AMG GT car, which you guys will see very soon because we will be visiting the Nürburgring as well and doing some awesome content there. But this is essentially one of their premier performance shock setups, and this is the Evo RT. And this literally was built around performance on the Nürburgring in the one of the top tier racing cars that I don't want to spoil the plan, but we have some pretty cool stuff again coming up at the track. But this, look how cute it is. But it like the performance built into this tiny little shock is insane. So they have, let's get a little closer here. So you can adjust your high speed and your low speed, not just in your rebound, but also your compression. So this would be a four-way. They also have an option where you could essentially cut off the compression without affecting your rebound whatsoever.
Yes.
Engineering at its finest.
I have to refresh my English a little bit, but I think it will be okay.
All right, we have another shock. What's your name?
My name is Freddy.
Okay,
Hi.
and we walked in on him actually preparing tool sets and everything they need for the race coming up this weekend at the Nürburgring, because you guys not just have the AMG GT car racing, but you have several other cars running Bilstein shocks as well.
Yes.
Okay, so what's this one?
So this is a damper from an RX car, from the Renault Megane RX. It's simply the same construction like we have in the RT car, but the only difference is that we have no blow off. We have hydraulic bump stop in this damper. So if the car goes in a jump And to catch the car after the landing, we have a hydraulic bump stop inside there. We have a spring inside there and can adjust the
Kind of the efficiency of the hydraulic.
efficiency of the hydraulic bump stop with the adjuster, right?
So he's talking about jumps. Now you're speaking our language. You're talking about jumping things high into the air. So this is also size-wise, at least length-wise, more familiar to me. Also, that's what she said. So it's, okay, you can see the difference here. So it's a little more online.
Like a rally car?
Yes, this is the rally car.
Oh,
Okay, so that okay. I was like, that looks much like what? Oh wait, here we go. Wait.
Oh,
That-
there. Okay. I was
Right
like,
there.
wait, that's good because you got dual spring rates. You got the.
I was saying,
okay,
a lot of that looks familiar. Yeah.
Now you know the real mechanics and they work on stuff here all the time because look at this. Look at this beautiful toolkit right here. It's absolutely amazing. And what lets you know how good they really are. They're missing 10 millimeter. Just like everybody else.
Just like everybody else. So speaking of Bilstein and their new series of performance dampers, the Evo.
We're actually here in a Bilstein trailer where they test and build shocks or dampers if they get damaged or if they need new ones. And we're actually be building our very own for Brittany Supra. So these are the new Evo Rs. There's one built right here, as you can see. There's one laid out on the table with all the shims and everything here. So we're building our very own Evo R coilovers for our Supra, and that'll be the first ones in the United States of this new series of coilovers, of dampers.
On
which
my
is pretty
Supra!
cool. So yeah, pretty cool. So
Before we get to the building and stuff like that, this is Daniel.
Hi.
And he is actually going to go over a little the information side of these dampers and what makes them so much more awesome than others.
So the Evo lineup consists of a series of 3 different dampers. That's going to be the Evo S, the Evo T1, and the Evo R. Now, they are very different. So could you explain really quick what the difference is between the S, the T1, and the R?
For sure. The Evo S is only for the height adjustability of the car. The Evo T1 we make with one noob, one adjuster for both sides, for rebound and compression. And the Evo R is direct from Motorsport. It's with height adjustability, 2 adjustments, and complete bump and rebound on both sides adjustable.
Right, so this one here was the R. So what he's saying is you have your individual clickers.
Yeah.
For one for compression, one for rebound. The T1
For
only has
both
one
sides.
clicker that does compression and rebound at the same time, and then the S is just height adjustable. There's no compression
Sure,
rebound.
yes.
That's just already built by you guys and saying, hey, this is optimal
Yes.
for this vehicle.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've been volunteered to
Voluntold?
voluntold to watch Freddie build this.
No.
Oh,
no,
I-
you're gonna build it.
It's not difficult. So
Okay, it's not difficult.
we can start.
Okay.
We can start.
Okay.
We have to put the washer on,
Yeah.
Okay.
and then you can stick.
And then the shims go on
right.
top of that. Easy, see? Easy. So, and the shims are essentially what control your valving, more or
Yes.
less,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Right.
Okay.
And what's that called that you just put on there?
A working piston. Ah, look at that, I'm a pro.
Rebound rubber, right?
Rebound rubber.
Yes. Yes. Can try it. Put it on.
Oh, great.
She's good at putting
You're
on
gonna-
rubbers. As you, yeah. Exactly.
So the next step is to fill it in the chrome tube.
Okay.
And for this we use this machine, and
Okay.
this machine put in gas in the chrome tube, and the dividing piston separated from the oil.
Oil. Okay.
Okay, so you have the working piston, you have the
Yep.
dividing piston,
Working
Yeah.
piston, dividing piston, and the guide unit.
the guide unit.
All right, let's do that.
Okay, so this I have to do
You
because
machine, and I'm
it's
not-
a-
You're not-
I'm not
it's
qualified?
a little
What?
bit dangerous.
That's it?
That's it.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
Full of gas and oil.
Full of gas and oil.
So the next up goes in the adjustment rod, which they called it, which this is what...
So if you see there's an outer tube and an inner tube.
There we go.
There it is. So that's how you have a compression and a rebound, the two separate adjustments. So that's for the R. As for the T1, you only have one adjustment tube or a rod. So as you adjust compression, you also adjust rebound at the same time.
Okay, so now after we test it and we've shown that I did a good job, I have to finish putting it together. Which there's a next step is closing cap, which literally says, "Do not open" on it.
And people try to open it, or they call and say,
Yeah. How do I take this off? How do I open it? There's a reason you don't open it. It's because the entire thing is extremely pressurized.
There's 150 psi in there.
And if you manage to pop this off and then get it that C-ring or the C-clip that's in there, you're gonna have a bad time.
You're gonna get a rod to the face.
Yeah, so there's a reason that that's on there.
Good job.
So when am I hired? So I don't know about you guys, but I for one am super, super pumped to have one of the first sets of Bilstein Evo Rs for my Toyota Supra back in the States.
Yeah, I mean, we're super grateful to have such an amazing company. I can't really pay too much attention right now because we are doing like almost 200 on the Autobahn.
The Autobahn life. But no, we're insanely thankful to Bilstein and for having the opportunity to work with a company that not only has like just so much history, but also every single person that works for Bilstein is so insanely passionate about what they do, and that's amazing because they genuinely care about their product and motorsports and supporting drivers. It's incredible.
The pride and the passion really goes a long way. I love seeing that because every time you talk to somebody, their eyes light up and they want to show you. Like they're so excited to show you the things they work on, the things they build, the factory. I wish we could show more of the internal workings of the factory, but
privacy laws.
Privacy laws here is a little different.
A little different than the States.
And you can see that people wanted to be on camera though. They wanted to tell us, and they're doing their best to speak English. And we don't speak German, so it's super cool that they're trying their best to speak English and explain to you guys and explain to us.
Not only for us to understand, but also to help us explain to you guys everything that goes on within their company.
How much passion, how much time and energy and just forethought. And
testing.
Now we get to have the first set of Evo Rs because they can't use the Rs here on the street.
They're not street legal in Europe because it lowers the vehicle too much.
We were going to do the T1s because that's what's legal here, and they're like, well, wait, you can drive the Rs on the street in America.
But in Germany, you can only use the Evo Rs on a track.
Right.
We don't have to. We can use them on the street, which is exactly what we're going to do. Guys, it's going to be awesome. I hope you're enjoying this entire journey with us through Germany and through Europe. And we have
much more.
We have so much more planned.
The next one's actually the really cool one.
Yeah, if you heard cars driving while I was building shocks, that's because we might have been at a very, very famous track, and we might have been getting ready to do something super insanely once-in-a-lifetime awesome.
Y'all have to thank Brittany for this. She's been filming 3 videos at one time. Like the forethought of going, okay, this is for this video. So guys, thank Brittany. Tell her how much you love her because she has been...
It's been really complicated.
It's been very complicated to use 2 phones to film 3 videos.
And then organizing it all and then editing it all has been insane, but totally worth it, especially to bring you guys along for the ride. as always, guys, we love you so much. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Remember, you can find all of your Lite Brite Nation merch and decals at litebritstudios.com. Guys, we love you so much. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Hält schon immer Jodi an.
Yo, that.
This was the right answer.
Was it?
Yeah.
I got that right. They're teaching us Kolsch, which is a dialect of
that they speak in
German
Cologne.
in Cologne. Yeah.
It could be it could. Which means?
It is how it is.
Yeah.
Oh, it is how it is. Okay, I like it.
That sounds right.
It could be it could.
Little propane bottle.
A little propane bottle is what we're drinking. Propane.
It's probably pretty much the same.
What happened to your shot glass?
I don't know what's up.
He's fancy. He's fancy. Yeah.
It's fancy.
Let's cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I have no idea what I'm drinking.
Oh God.
Yo, ma.
Next one.
It's not that bad.
Yeah.
That's like.
That's not that bad.
That's like.
No, it's not that bad.
It's honestly like a Jaeger bomb, like Red Bull or Monster and Jaeger, but already mixed together. Yeah. Cheers, kampai.
Come
Wrong country, but it's fine.
pie.
We just found out that this is
Cheers,
40%, so
Pause.
80
Put it
proof.
all in English.
This is my fourth one somehow. Cheers.
Was hat er gesagt?
Nicht lang schnacken, Kopf in Nacken.
Das Dumme ist, es ist leer.
4 beers and 4 shots right before bed.
I didn't like it at first, but it's growing on me.
Really, I'm going the opposite direction.
I'm liking it less and less.
Oh, that one hit harder than the other ones.
Here, try to sit with the beer.
No.